Greetings viewers at home and welcome on another exciting episode of Retros #, where we talk all that matters. Igama lami nguPetros Khoza. Kanti ngiyazi ukuthi wena uthandile kaDaddy. Yes, yebo awuzweke futhi ulibiza kamnandi kabi. Buka ngikulethele bani namhlanje. Usomahashi inyoni yezulu. Baba Ngubane, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me. It's always nice to be here. Yeah. It feels like home.
Oh yes, that's your second home.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hey Virgil. Hi namhlanje no. Hi. Hi Baba. No, bengithi ngisutile.
Thank you, man. You must represent Etwatwa very well.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure. The president of Etwatwa inathi namhlanje. So besikhuluma kabanzi ngencwadi yakhe Unashamed. Ngethemba ukuthi usuyibonile ke wena ku social media, you know, from Twitter, Facebook to, you know, you've seen it everywhere, the book. And today we'll be unpacking the journey of writing the book. Why do we have the book and why you must buy the book? Ngithatha pen and paper, uhlale phansi, usomahashi azazise bese siyadingida lo. My brother, please reintroduce yourself.
Thank you so much. Igama lami nguSicelo Ngubane. I'm a social entrepreneurship. I believe that everything that we do must be impacting in our social life. I met social skills very early in my life, and that has embodied some of my thinking and my experience in terms of what is the outlook of my role, because whatever I've experienced is a perspective that we have.
Sure.
So I'm big in social ills, in entrepreneurship as well, since I've started more in business. I'm a motivational speaker, I'm a motivational coach, also a producer of Etwatwa the movie.
Beautiful.
Also a CEO of Etwatwa Media House. Now I'm pushing Dapoga Holdings as the bigger brand that is going to be growing all the small businesses that I've been starting. That is pretty much who I am.
Hi, yazini angazi /producer /author / you know, hey maningi nama title. I wonder wena ngubani, waziwa ngani? uDapoga namhlanje waziwa ngegawulo, waziwa ngeEtwatwa le movie, waziwa ngomsebenzi omuhle awenzayo. Dapoga, you know, allow me to call you Dapoga.
Awesome, sir.
Yeah, man. There's a book here, Unashamed. Iyalonjwa le ncwadi kusasa.
Yes.
Around this time.
Yes.
You know. So tell me about the book Unashamed. Why this title?
Thank you for that question. Ekas, we still have a particular paradigm, and I think I want to say it's now embodying in subconscious that when somebody says Ekas in mind, it's as if it's a wrong paradigm. We do have Ekas in mind that is about brotherhood.
Sure.
We do have Ekas where some of us have seen the other side of Ekas. The Unashamed is on the basis that everybody has been speaking bad of Etwatwa. Everybody has been expecting wrong things about Etwatwa. Remember when we started Etwatwa the movie, we also asked people in the social media, interviews, what are your memories about this community? The negativity that came from the people of the same community is embodied in the subconscious that you don't have to dig deeper in terms of what you think about your community. So the negative perception, the negative view that we have on our society only represent one side of the coin. If you're going to a public hospital, if you're going to a public clinic, if you're going to a public school, if you're going to a public toilet, every other thing that is public, we always want to have shame on it. And this time around, we want to be unashamed about who we are, unashamed about us playing in the streets, unashamed about us crossing, you know, in the mud to go to the school, unashamed about the dreams that we have, unashamed about having a neighbor next door who might be playing a very loud, you know, music. You know, you know, when you wake up in the morning, and you don't have a choice but to listen to that song. We are not ashamed of who we are. Ekasi should be seen as an opportunity because many people are working in Makasi. Now, if you have a negative perception about the community, how more about the teachers who are working in our community schools? Those are people who are hired by us as Ekasi.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, police who are coming at Etwatwa police station are hired by us. And for them to be able to achieve anything is because we are not ashamed about who we are. We're not ashamed about the fact that their dreams are embodied of who we are. If Etwatwa was not there, they will not be able to meet any bread into their table. So Unashamed is to clean the name, you know, of Etwatwa, to clean the Kasi, to clean the township, because People know each other about OVLs. People know each other about Dragon. People know about gangsterism. But there's another side that people don't know of the same rose, because the thorns come first before the rose. So this time around, we're going to share the fragrance and the smell of what Itwatwa has produced. It's the other side of the coin. I'm excited about this side of the story because no one has told it like we're going to share it. Because the story of the OVLs and the dragons, we've seen media coming at Itwatwa, when these things are happening. We hope. And it has started, medias like DaveytonTV, they are coming to Itwatwa to see the roles that we're talking about. And it is a very great phenomenon. It's a movement to start.
Thank you so
Unashamed.
much for that. Unashamed. I think so many years ago, but again, what can we expect in the book if umuntu uhlela ekhaya says ngiyayifuna le ncwadi but angazi khuluma ngayo. Sengizwile ukuthi Unashamed, it's more of telling the other side of the story that people don't know about. So why must I buy the book?
Number one, the book is about human monument. I know that we know monument as places that are built to preserve particular culture and history. The Unashamed is about people. If you say Itwatwa and you say people, you find a big oxymoron, because now our monuments are not built in hands, but they are built by memories. So the book is about different people who have changed the narrative of the community. It's a living book. So it's not just a book that you read and say, I have read this book. You look at the characters of people that have been selected there through triumph, that they found themselves in trials and tribulations, but they were able to find, triumph into that. They were able to persevere. It's you finding the character, see the life of these people through the eyes of the author, where I share with you and say, I met this person in this way. We have a number of people that we have captured. Some are businessmen, entrepreneurs, some are senior in their department. But those are people that were produced by the same community that we're coming from.
Unashamed, it's the book mntana sekhaya ebungaza bonke abantu abenze kahle emphakathini waseThwathwa, kanti futhi abantu abalethe ushintsho olukhulu emphakathini waseThwathwa. Angazi ukuthi wena eluphi ushintsho zanalo, angazi ukuthi mhlambe wena kuyobhalwa ngani kusasa, but ngiyathemba ukuthi akuyobhalwa umaye ngawe, kuyobhalwa ngeqhawe lamaqhawe eliproduce amaqhawe. Stay with me as we unpack the journey of this book. So ngiyazi ukuthi ke you want to tell the other side of the story of eThwathwa.
Yes.
We've selected certain people who have played a huge role, and ngicabanga ukuthi abantu esibaziyo and abantu bafuna leyo ncwadi babe like, wow, and for sure, well, I didn't see that, I didn't know about this, well, I know more or I know less about this person.
Yes.
Sharp. And how does the Ngubane come to profile these people? How does that meet? Sicelo avuke abhayele ncwadi kuze kube, how did it start? Uvuke ekseni wathi ufuna ukubhala ngoPetros start DaveytonTV, uPetros wenzeni, Petros thengela book abakwini, then you feel like there's a book now I should publish. How did it come about?
Thank you for that question. It has been series of events, and they occur in time series. The book came after Itwatwa the movie, even though the book is produced before the movie is produced.
Yeah.
Now, when we started Itwatwa the movie, it was because we wanted to celebrate unsung heroes.
Sure.
Now you find people, Abambiza Nguti Street Committee. Itwatwa was started by people who will say, Sicelo patroller today to make sure that our community is safe. Now there is what I will say organizational memory, because in my memory of Itwatwa, I have had an opportunity of growing up in the youth club. The advantage with me is that I was raised by the community. I was raised by people who come from the same community.
Yeah.
When my situation, coming from a poor background, I come from the same community that some people will say negative things about people that I know that they've helped me so much. They've helped this community so much. And when you look at the balance in terms of the story, that we are silent about the good that people do, but we're very loud about the negative that they do. Even not the negative they do, negative that we assume. When somebody comes, it's already half done, that people will see negative in them. So Itwatwa the movie, when it started to celebrate the unsung heroes, that's when we also spontaneously were writing the book, from the Facebook to the actual book. Because when I was writing my status on Facebook, I would celebrate people You know, I realize that people are not being celebrated.
True.
We wait until somebody dies, and those people can't even say thank you or hear what you're saying. They can't go back and say, I never thought about myself in this way. We are always giving a wrong perspective of people because we wait until people die. So with Unashamed, with Itwatwa the movie, we want to celebrate you while you are still alive. You know, we want to write stories about people we can still see with our own eyes and say, that guy is our role model. The word role, it means particular position. So when you take a role that you are now a role model to many people in the society, you yourself start to think in a different way. You behave in a different way because there's so much expectation on you. For those much is given, much is expected.
Oh yes, my favorite statement, you know, to whom much is given, much is required. Lalela mntana sekhaya, ngiyazi ukuthi wena busahlubukile kancane, you know, khona izinto ozenza bezikuphazamisa, but you know, get back to your role and be a model of that role, you know. Be a role model to someone who's growing up there. Kunomntwana obukele kuwena, kunentombazana, kunomfana manje othi ngiyamthanda lwabhuti lwasisi. Be a good role model. Namhlanje utaboka wenzani uraise ama role model ama role model because of benze kahle namhlanje kubhalwe kahle ngabo. Ngiyacela ukuthi mina nawe asitshe indlela zethu bese kuyobhalwa kahle. Hayi man, abakholwayo bangizwa basindisiwe ukuthi ngithi nasekhaya kubhaliwe ngoba senze kahle endaweni yabantu abaphilayo. But tell me, so how do you get the book?
The book is launching tomorrow.
Yes.
So part of the plan is that we want to empower entrepreneurs around the gas.
Sure.
So the book will be sold through those entrepreneurs.
Okay.
But for tomorrow only, the book will be sold at the venue, at the launch, so that people can have an access to it and all of that.
Sure.
But after that, we'll advertise through our social space that where do you get the book. We want to make sure that entrepreneurs are also able, you know, to work on educational materials that we can now document our cars and be proud about it. So it's gonna be linked in all our different areas of Etwatwa where entrepreneurs are located.
Wow, siyabonga ke la ayikho enye indlela noma enye excuse onayo. Incwadi izotholakala Etwatwa yonke, eDaveyton yonke, iNoni yonke, eGugulethu yonke, Gauteng yonke, South Africa yonke, umhlaba jikelele izotholakala.
Yes.
You know, so mfethu ngicela ungibhemise mfethu Scaife. Ubani mhlawumbe ukhona la encwadini? Yabo, just explain it. Yabo, Scaife, puff and pass.
Puff and pass.
Sure.
Let me just select somebody who, for me, was very significant on the book. Ubabuthemba Xaba, the owner of Agent Garage.
Oh,
the second owner of his spares, in fact, La Daveyton. He studied at Etwatwa High School, which is in Lectonville, where Etwatwa really started.
Sure.
So it was very great because one of the things that I've learned about Ubabuthemba Xaba is not only what he says, but also what he does. Ubabuthemba is a symbol of Ubuntu. Is a symbol of what it means to be a philanthropist. He has assisted so many people in our community. When you speak with him, you get attention from him. We are Mazumundu. So to have somebody of that caliber in the book for me was speaking volume. And there are more of those that you will read about in the book.
Ubabuthemba iningi lethu siyamazi. Ume ngabe awukaze kweze Daveyton. Ngicela ushaye ijika ne. This we are Agent Garage and check the service. He's always there. Hey, lamanye ama garage asibathola abanikazi. Asikhulumi kabi ngawo but Ubabuthemba, he's always available for ama clients wakhe. Yabonga. Ngiyazi ukuthi uyindoda ebhizi kakhulu, no kuningi obhizi ngakho insuku zonke wehla wenyuka. You know, I heard about the program ama teenpreneurs oyenzayo. No, in the next coming 30 seconds, tell me about it.
So the teenpreneurs, we've taken two words, teenager and entrepreneurship. Teenpreneur.
Sure.
So the teenpreneurs are young people that we're already positioning to start businesses. We need now young people who start very early to have a desire to start business. We have so many young people who see business, but they don't really know that you can be an entrepreneur. You can be able to start your business. So the entrepreneurs are teenagers that we are teaching them about running business. We're doing the program in the schools where we group young people in groups so that they can be able to do the projects together. One other thing that is good is that tomorrow we're going to have one of the teenpreneurs also on the program who's just going to share about the glimpses and the experiences that they had as teenpreneurs. Yes.
That's beautiful. Hey, yazini kusasa kuyobe kumnandi. Angazi leyo shona uphi wena. Mina noma ngangishonela nguphi, ngabane ngithatha ibhanoyi ngiyofika, you know, ukuzobungaza le ncwadi. So how much is the book?
The book is 200 rand, but
Yes.
for tomorrow we are selling it at 299 because we're including a gaulo.
Okay.
So yes, so tomorrow we are including a gaulo. Just for tomorrow only, it's 300 rand, and then after that it's only 200 rand.
Uyalazi igawulo man. Uyalazi igawulo. Hayi man, woza man, siyakumema fika kusasa man. Siyokubona endaweni. Nawo ama details uyawabona musa ngithi. Nawo ama details. So ke ngicela ke ongakwazi mhlawumbe ukufunda, ongasazi isilungu, awusitshele ukuthi event ukuphi.
The event is at Healing Center Family Church at Twatwa, well known as a 10-day. It's gonna start tomorrow at 5 until 8. Please keep time because from 4 until 5 we're open for igaulo as well, because we're gonna be having coffee since it's gonna be cloudy. So it's gonna allow you to have tea because we also want to encourage networking.
Sure.
So the sooner the better.
The sooner the better. Lalela mntana sekhaya mina ngiyakuthanda, igama lami nguPetros Khoza, ngihlezi noSicelo Ngubane, sikhuluma ngencwadi yakhe Unashamed ezolontshwa kusasa lo ka tomorrow my friend. Ngicela uze tshela abangani bakho, batshela abangani babo, nibize umndeni wonke, abathakathi bendawo, abakholwayo bendawo, sibadinga bonke ngoba iUnashamed iza nendawo ezimnandi. Siyanthanda. Mtapoka, your last two parting shots, in the next coming 30 seconds. How do you get hold of you and what can you say to umuntu olaphaya who's looking up to you?
Thank you so much. I want to start by thanking the support.
Sure.
I want to start explaining the amount of support I've got from DaveytonTV.
Yeah.
Because people can think this is, because of the camera.
Yeah.
Even beyond the camera.
Yeah.
You speak with me once a week. Even more. You see me, you make sure that you see me. Not only you, but also other producers. But I want to thank you and other people who are supporting, because when you have an idea of a community, the first discouragement you get is the community people. So to have people of your caliber, it makes me to realize that no, we are changing the paradigm. It won't be easy. But also to encourage you at home to say, whatever that you have been going through, it was preparing you for the betterment of your future. Never leave anything that has been bringing shame in you. Take that and be not ashamed and say unashamed about your life. Anything that you thought is not good for you, you may change that coin and see it working for your good. Don't be ashamed. Thank you so much.
Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of your hustle. Ungenzeka udobha amabhodlela uyowathengisa balala abadlile endlini. Udokotela uthenga the very same mpuphu ngale mali ayithola emsebenzini. Never ever be ashamed of your hustle. Ungabe ashamed ngesimo sasekhaya. Akukho mnandi ekhaya, kunzima, awuphili impilo oyibona eTV nokubona kumakhelwane, but never be ashamed. Ngoba uNkulunkulu unecebo elihle ngawe. Bayazi abogogo basethenjeni abasifundela iBhayibheli mesoshumayela. Bathi icebo lakhe never be ashamed about isimo sakho. Siyakuthanda. We love you. Love, la God. May God bless you. Shalom.
Shalom.